స్టార్ట్. అదే ఇప్పుడు కాదు, వస్తా చూడు, వస్తాను చూడు బాబు. వస్తుందా? వచ్చింది చూడు. పవర్ పాయింట్ పెడతారా సార్? ఏడు
సార్ అదే
చూడు.
आपको फाइल पीपीटी किधर सर ऊपर अभी चल रहा ठीक है.
I am not sure that you guys heard me earlier or not, because I started my class at around 9:35 9:30 or 9:35, but it looks like ITG people said that the class is not streaming, so they came and they tried to fix it. Took a long time. I don't know if you have seen these slides again, so should I'll skip, because I was talking about life expectancy and some other slides earlier, but I'll skip those slides because I'll just tell you the names of those slides and from where I started, so that after maternal mortality ratio, then there is a morbidity. So I started from morbidity, so I'll not discuss this because I have less time here now. So this was a morbidity data, so then incidence rate, then prevalence rate, morbidity and fatality rate, life expectancy. So I was here at life expectancy when it all started, that they said that it's not working. Anyway, so life expectancy is an estimate of average number of additional years a person could expect to live if the age specific death rate for a given year prevailed from the rest of his or her life. Life expectancy is a hypothetical measure because it is based on the current death rates and actual death rates that change over the course of a person's lifetime. Each person's life expectancy changes as he or she grows older and as mortality trends changes. If age-specific death rates between 2005 to 2010 remains unchanged, male born in Argentina during the period can expect to live around 72 years they are born. Females can expect to live around 79 years. Life expectancy of Jordanians are 73, and I think the Indians are also around between 70 to 74 now. Population composition and age-specific composition. Age and sex are the most basic characteristics of population. Every population has a different age and sex composition. The number of proportion of males and females in each age group. This structure can have considerable impact on the population's social and economic situation, both present and future. Population composition. Population could be relatively young, or developing countries. About 40% are less than 15 years, that is Africa, Jordan, and less than 4% are older groups. Relatively the older population, aging, which is also called as aging, developed relatively older population are in developed countries more than 10% over 65 years of age. For example, Europe is less than 25% of Europe, or less than 25% of the population is less than 15 years of age. Okay, so that is Young and old population have markedly different age compositions. As a consequence, they also have a different populations for the population in the labor force or in school, as well as different medical needs, consumer preferences, and even crime patterns. A population's age structure has a great deal to do with how the population lives. The median age is the age at which exactly half the population is older and half is younger. For example, the median age of the Costa Rica population in 1995 was 23, while that of Sweden was 38, signifying the older population. In 1995, the median age in Jordan with young population was somewhere around 18. In 2012, median age in Jordan was 23 was 20 in next 3 years. Sex ratio is the ratio of male and female in a given population, usually expressed as the number of males for every 100 females. The sex ratio at birth in most countries is about 105 or 106 males per 100 females. After birth, sex ratios vary because of different patterns of mortality and migration of males and females with the population. A A population pyramid graphic a population pyramid graphically displays a population's age and sex composition. Horizontal bars present the numbers or proportions of males and females in each age group. The sum of all the age groups in the population pyramid equals to around 100% of the population. Now here are two examples of age pyramids. The first pyramid looks like more of a developed countries, and right hand side less developed countries. The population pyramid on the right hand side, which shapes like a pyramid, broader from bottom and thinner at the apex, is the actual population pyramid, which is considered to be a normal and which is considered to be of a growing progressing population. On the left hand side, most of the developed countries have their population pyramid has shrunken because of various other reasons, like for example more survival of older population due to good health infrastructure and other thing, and less birth rates and controlled birth rates in developed countries. Now, Japan is the most affected country with the population dynamic. It is having a more number of older population, and it's still growing. The survival rate and life expectancy of China is very high in the world. Hence, due to various development and industrialization, as well as different demographic reasons, the birth rate has come down, and the people who were born earlier are growing older, and the survival rate of the older population is much high. Hence, if you see Japan, the older population is more and the younger population is less. That means younger population, which is more productive and more supportive in economy of the country, is less, and more dependent population is more. Populations of the country can differ markedly as the result of past and current patterns. The population of a country can differ markedly as a result of past and current patterns of fertility, mortality, and migration. However, they all tend to fall into a three general profile of age sex composition, that is rapid growth, slow growth, and zero growth and declining population. Rapid growth means is indicated by a pyramid rapid growth is indicated by a pyramid with a large percentage of people in the younger age group. Slow growth is reflected by a pyramid in a smaller proportion of a population in a younger age group, and zero growth or declining population are shown by roughly equal number of people in all the age groups and tapering off gradually at the older age groups. Okay, there are total 5 stages of demography. We are going to study this 5 stages of demography in our next class. So I'll try to cover with the definition and everything. Again, we will reinstate this thing. Age patterns of Senegal population in 2010. Yeah, this is the perfect population pyramid as a growing population. And this is the population pyramid of Italy. You can understand the difference here. So birth rate is at the bottom, and the left hand side there is a age, and the percentage of people on the right hand side, like male and female, are here. So you can see that the older population is much higher, right? 74 to 90 plus population is more in Italy. Females are living more in Italy in the older age groups, and you can see a bulge coming up around 45 to 35 to 45 years of age in around next, this is 2010, right? And now it is 2020. So within another 10 years, means by now, by 2020, they must have landed into age group of 65 to 55. The bulge which you can see in the middle. And in next 10 years, this bulge will go up and contribute to the major population. And you can see the birth rate is very less: 0 to 4 year, 5 to 9 year, 10 to 14 years. The number of births are very less here. This is another example of slow growing population. This is growth population. This is rapidly growing population, zero growth. And the third example is slow growth, United States. It looks like in the United States the survival rate has increased for older people, but it is also till now it is also compensating it from the birth rate. So it looks like the birth rate till for 59 years of age, they are able to substitute the population. Population change has three components: birth, death, and migration. As people are born, they are dying or move, the total numbers in an area changes. During most of the history, world population increases very slowly. But during the 20th century, this growth has accelerated. Okay, so how do population change? A change in a population size over a given period of time equals the number of people in the population at the beginning of the period plus any births that occur during the period minus any death plus net migration during the period is how we calculate the population change. So the formula calculating population change over time is like P1 plus B minus D plus I minus E is equal to P2, where P2 is the population at the later date and P1 is the population at the earlier date. B is the births and D is the death between the two death dates. and I is migration or in migration, and E is migration or out migration between the two dates. The change in the population size account for by more births in the population than deaths is referred to as a natural increase. The term natural increase refers to the population decline resulting from more deaths than births. So Jordan growth rate is around 2.2. The natural growth rate is around 2.1 DHS. The rate of a natural increase in the rate at which population is increasing in the given year due to surplus of birth over deaths, expressed as a percentage of the base population. Net migration is the number of migrants minus immigrants. The growth rate is the rate at which population is increasing in a given year due to natural increase and net migration, expressed as a percentage of a base population. The growth rate takes into account all components of population growth, that is birth, death and migration. It equals to the birth minus deaths plus net migration divided by total population multiplied by K, that is considered to be 100. It should never be confused with the birth rate, but it sometimes is. Still have time, we'll continue. So the demographic transition. The demographic transition refers to the change in the populations undergo from high rates of births and deaths to low rates of births and deaths. High levels of births and deaths kept most populations from growing rapidly throughout the most of the time. The demographic transition is the decline in the mortality usually precedes the decline in the fertility, resulting in the population growth during the transition period. So there are 5 actually. Let's see. So in stage 1, there is a high birth rate, high death rate, that is equals to little or no growth. That means little or no growth. High birth rate and falling death rate equals to high growth. Declining birth rate, relatively low death rate equals to slowed growth. and low birth rate and low death rate equals to very low population growth. There's a fifth one, I think, which is low birth rate and high death rate. That is a zero growth population. We will check it with our next slides. Another presentation. Okay, so national population. Okay, so population policies. National population commission were formed in different countries. They formulate national population policies and action plans. One major component of action plan deals with reproductive health. Reproductive health in the context of population includes reproductive rights, sexuality, family planning, reproductive morbidity, and violence against women. Violence against women, gender-based differences, male involvement in reproductive health. Selected indicators for job. Okay, so this is an example of Jordan most of the times because so Jordan population and family health survey. Total population was so and so. I think you can take the numbers later. We need all the numbers from India. Okay, I'll try to get those numbers from India in our next listing. Thank you. This much is for today. There was technical issues here which probably must have interfered with your streaming. Okay, thank you, and I hope all of you are paying your fees. It's not very good to not pay fees to the college, which is affecting many lives of people around here. So kindly pay your fees if you have not paid. Thank you.